Hey guys, welcome back. So this is episode 2 of the drift truck build, and today we're going to be going over the inspection phase. It's the most overlooked area, but also the most important, because if you don't do your due diligence now, you're going to have a lot of trouble later on. So in my case, I'm going to be looking over the donor car, which I know a lot about since it's my 180SX. However, I still need to make sure that the components work on the car. It was in a pretty nasty wreck, so I want to make sure that the engine turns over and everything's running fine. I mean, it looks like Hulk punched my gas tank, so the whole hanger assembly is probably shoved up and everything else, and I won't be able to prime the engine and check and see, so I'm going to have to either pull my fuel hanger out of the fuel tank and test it with like a bucket or something like that, or some hoses, or I'm going to have to run an external fuel pump and just test it that way. But either way, it's something that I have to do to make sure that the engine runs, because that can throw a massive monkey wrench into this operation. And then the second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to inspect the truck thoroughly. So I did a preliminary inspection on the truck already, but I want to go through with a fine-tooth comb and see what I'm working with, because one of the reasons I got the truck for so cheap, it was because it is branded, the title's branded salvaged rebuilt. Now, it wasn't salvaged rebuilt due to a major accident. Remember, the presumptive value of these trucks, at least in Texas, is about $400. The market value on these trucks, like for insurance companies, is somewhere between like $1,100 and $2,200 depending. So, I mean, even a minor chip in the window could total these things out. Well, maybe not a minor chip, but you know what I mean. Something very small that we would consider on a normal vehicle would be a great big deal for something that has this low of value. So the guy assured me that it wasn't in a major wreck or anything. I did my checks, and he wasn't lying. And I looked over the frame rails and everything, looked at the suspension and stuff like that, and everything checked out, so I went ahead and purchased it. But it's always really important to just look over your projects before you start, so that's what we're going to do. And before we go down there and check everything out, I want to give a shout out to 3 channels. Well, actually 3 people, because one of them I don't think actually has a YouTube channel, but still important to know. We're a small community, so chances are you're probably going to know who these people are. Alright, so the first channel that I want to talk about is Local Losers. So there's a pretty good chance that if you watch my channel you know exactly who they are, but in the case that you don't, they're 2 dudes out of Arizona. One guy's name's Bo and the other guy's name's Ronnie, and they just have kind of this dynamic duo, funny, like brotherly love, best friend kind of deal that just works. I really like the channel. I think it's really neat. The commentary is really good, and the stuff that they do, the project that they're working on, it's a little white D21. They turboed the K24E on it. It's just a cool little channel to watch, very entertaining. So if you haven't checked that out, and maybe you're a K24E fan and you're looking to get your fix, go check them out. And then the second channel is actually somebody that comments on my videos quite frequently, and it's Auto Factory, OTTO Factory. And if you're looking to jump right into doing a independent rear suspension on your hardbody, go check out his channel. He's already been there, he's already done that. Follow how he's doing that setup for putting an S chassis rear end under his truck. It's perfect. So he's got a lot of good stuff going, and hopefully his channel takes off as well. And then last but certainly not least, there's a gentleman by the name of Jason Pope, and he owns a little business called Bebani Customs. I hope I'm saying that right, but it's BEEBANI Customs. And he's on Instagram, and if you go check out some of the stuff that this dude builds, you are definitely going to be in for a treat. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm not even going to waste my time trying to fabricate some of this stuff. I'm just going to go the easy route, and I'm going to buy straight from Jason. He sells stuff like your 4-link kits, Watts link kits for the rear, coilover conversion for the front, all for D21, 520, 620, 720s, and I think even Toyota trucks, I believe he does. So yeah, I'll definitely be using some of his products. I know he offers a dual caliper rear setup, a rear disc conversion, I believe. I'm not sure on that one, but I know the dual caliper rear setup and the 300ZX upgrade for the front, so the Z32 caliper front upgrade. I mean, we're talking top-notch products, guys, so go check him out. And yeah, so those are the 3 honorable mentions. If any of you guys know anybody else that is just doing stuff, let me know so I can go check them out, because I love supporting other people. I mean, there's plenty of food on the table, guys. We're all here to work on hard bodies and stuff like that, so there's no greed amongst men. So yeah, let me know. But for now, let's go get started. All right, guys, so remember how I told you it looked like the Hulk punched my gas tank? Let's go check that out real quick. Also, I'm using the new GoPro setup for the first time. Let's check this out. Oh man, look at that. Dang. The chaos. The carnage. Alrighty, I'm gonna run over to Edwin Shop real quick, grab my spare SR trans because I need the bell housing off of it to do this swap, but I will be right back. Hey, buddy.
Hey.
So, this is the part that I need for the truck, so I can bolt this to the truck's transmission. So yeah, things are happening pretty fast with this truck. I already have a guy coming down from Ozona, Texas to pick up these Nissan Titan wheels. I actually just got back from Ed's shop with my spare SR trans. So I'm like, dang, a lot of stuff going on really quickly, but that's not a bad thing. So anyways, I'm gonna pop these wheels off real quick of this truck and wait for the guy to show up. And then I'll get to working on seeing if we can get this thing running. And then after that, actually that'll work out perfect because I need to check out and inspect some of the areas on this truck, and once the wheels are off I can actually do that, so that'll actually work out real nice. Alright, so the guy came and picked up the wheels. He's already on his way back to Zona. I think he got a banging deal, but he kind of showed up a little bit later than I thought and kind of tired now, so I might wrap it up for tonight. But anyway, in the interim, while I was waiting, I built this little fuel cell contraption. It's a 320 liter per hour AEM fuel pump. Waiting for this JB Weld to dry so it's leak proof, so that way tomorrow I can just fill it up with some gasoline. And this will be my makeshift fuel cell. Anyway, kind of the gist of it though is I'm going to be hooking up this. Ooh, I get to use this light. Oh, I love this thing. Anyway, from the fuel pressure regulator, here's my return line. I'm going to be dumping that back into the bucket, and here is my supply line to the rail. This is going to be hooked up to that AEM pump, and the idea is to just get this thing idling for about, I don't know, 15 seconds or something. Maybe you get a little bit of throttle input on it. I just want to make sure that it's good to go. That way we can go ahead and start yanking this thing out. Trying to get into the fuel tank right now Not gonna freaking happen. Try taking off the cover plate, can't even access the stuff, and I'm not about to drop a tank just to make sure that this thing runs. I'd rather just do this. So that's what we're gonna do. I don't know if I'm gonna do it tonight. I'm kind of tired, but definitely start this tomorrow. All right guys, so I went ahead and set up the supply line, and I have the return line over there. The battery is all set up, and I was about to get going. Did a test on the fuel pump. Turns out this AEM fuel pump doesn't work. Just kind of funny because we always used to make fun of these pumps for just being junk, and they make really great ECUs, but their fuel pumps are kind of hit or miss, but especially for an older one. So we're gonna go back to a trusty Walbro 255. This thing's older than that pump, but I guarantee this one's gonna work. Anyway, in the unlikely event that this one doesn't work, I do have a backup 450, and I'm not gonna be doing all this jazz. I'm just gonna fill this up with some gasoline, dump the pump in there, and fish the return in and go for it. So let's get going on that. All right, so here's the new setup. Oh, I hope this works. I just want to hear this thing running. But yeah, so I already primed it, but you can hear it works. So, moment of truth. There goes nothing. Wish me luck, guys. That's a relief. Good job, Walbro. You're the true MVP. Oh, that makes me feel so much better. Alright, cool. So I can go ahead and get all that stuff out of there. Now we know that the donor engine is good to go. Alright guys, we are at the final part of this episode, and that is doing a general inspection of Russ and taking some mental notes of what maintenance probably needs to be done in the future. But we're going to make sure that, you know, there's no structural damage or anything like that on the frame. That's kind of what you're looking for if you're just going out to buy a truck or something like that. Make sure you don't see any like pull marks or tool marks or anything like that. So let's take a peek at what we got here. So brakes look to be in good shape. You know, things are a little dirty down here, but that's okay. As you can see, the frame is in good shape. There's no tool marks from being on a frame rack being pulled. You know, you'd notice it down here, you'd notice it over here, you'd notice something back here, and you can see that this hasn't been in a major front end collision. You can look up in here, see that the seam sealer's still there and all that, and everything looks in pretty good repair. Just taking a brief once over, and this is something that you can do when you're going out to look at the truck. So it's an easy way to tell. You're looking for leaks, anything that looks odd, off. You know, you don't want a really rusty frame or anything like that. You're looking for a really good condition fuel cell. I mean, like, check this one out. Beautiful, no dents, no dings. You can see here where it's rubbing on the bump stops right now because it's lowered with those blocks, but we're going to take care of all that later. Other than that, Come around here real quick. Let's take a peek, see. As you can see, same deal. Really clean. You can tell this truck was not up north, because this stuff would look horrid. Or if it was taken really good care of. I'm gonna come up to here. Yeah, this is pretty standard stuff for how old this thing is. But the brakes look good, got a lot of pad life on them. Again, no pull marks. It doesn't appear to have been in a major accident in the front at all. Okay, we can kind of go underneath, check out the frame rail. This is something I liked about this truck. It's not all beat up from people jacking it up constantly. Oh goodness, look at that exhaust. I was wondering why it was a little bit louder, but yeah, look at the booger welds on it. What is that, a flowmaster? Let's see. Yep, that's a flowmaster. Yummy. I don't like seeing that. But other than that, let's see the general health. I'd say that's pretty darn good. No leaks. Look at the diff. No leaks. Fuel cell looks good on the other side. I'd say this is a winner so far. We did good. Even being a salvage title. Let's go this way. Check out this frame rail. Oh yeah, that looks really good. Cool beans. And that's basically all you're looking for. Just making sure that everything looks to be where it's supposed to be. Nothing sticking out like a sore thumb. Yeah, that's it, guys. So I really hope you enjoyed this episode. I'll start working on episode 3 here. I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do for episode 3. But yeah, as always, thanks for watching. Cheers.